Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be me reacting to the ABD 4.0 news that I've just heard of a couple of days ago. And I gotta say, the news update on the game is pretty interestingly informative, to say the least. Also, if you haven't noticed already, I'm using RIU gameplay instead of ABD gameplay, and that's mainly because I couldn't find anything interesting to do while playing ABD other than 1v1ing people. And RIU did release a new trial game mode, so I thought I might as well use this gameplay instead. But moving on, let's get into the video. But word of warning, I did skip some parts of the video and only focused on the more important things. So if you want the full video to get all the proper details and information, the full video will be in the description alongside the channel. So now, let's get started.
Including changes to Mr. President and the Magician's Red Rework.
Hold up, pause on that. Did he just say Magician's Red finally got a rework? Finally! After all this time, they finally put some respect on this completely dog shit stand and gave it a proper rework and revamp to his moveset. I'm not gonna lie, this stand was completely worthless in every category in the book, with his only redeeming move being this move horrendously carried the stand, and I'm glad that the stand can be useful and worth playing now.
Next, let's get into some mechanics and new features of ABD 4.0. Firstly, mobile support is being worked on, and by the looks of it, it seems to be going well.
Though I already talked about this in my last 4.0 video, it's great that mobile support is being added to ABD so mobile players can get a chance of playing the game, but as a PC main, I could care less. Though I will say I love the optimization of mobile support in the main menu. It's neat.
New game modes are being worked on, according to Shibo, who is a dev for 4.0. A Steel Ball Run game mode is currently outside their plans though.
Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, for game modes, I'm not really sure how much I can leak on them, but I will say that we are working on different game modes other than just the base one. And as far as SBR goes, we don't really have that as a plan. I mean, that's just as far as my knowledge goes. I mean, Fonny might say something different, so don't take my word on it, but yeah.
Honestly, I'm just neutral with adding a Steel Ball Run game mode to ABD. I mean, yeah, Steel Ball Run can definitely be a fun addition to the game, but if they try and copy anything from YBA that involves Steel Ball Run, yeah, there are other game modes you can add that's not Steel Ball Run.
Next we have the Bazaar.
I know this is going to be a nitpick, but why are there two classic Sonics on my screen in front of the market? And I know this is supposed to be the Bazaar market, but why add these two Sonics in front of it? These aren't in ABD, so why even add them? Unless it's supposed to be a reference to something I don't know about. This is just adding these two just to be adding them. If these two Sonics are in the final release, that's honestly cool. It's something I'll quickly get over, but to be frank, these two Sonics are giving me more ABD modded vibes than ABD vibes.
Fishing, a new minigame where you can catch fish, though we've only seen the red snapper so far. My theory for fishing is you will be able to sell the fish for money, and also, while fishing, you may have the slight chance of getting rare items like masks, diaries, and monochromatic orbs.
Huh, that's an interestingly weird theory that you just created, cret. It's not like we don't already have that type of mechanic implemented in ABD that mostly everyone likes. It's not like Trowels exist, right? Unless...
My next topic, Trowels, which are getting removed in 4.0, presumably being replaced by fishing.
Huh, isn't that interesting? But you know what? At the moment, I'll let this slide and come back to it later.
Stands. In Shelf's interview with Shibo talks about how they want to make more ways to obtain stands and new evolutions for them. They mentioned a Star Platinum the World evolution, though she is still determining if it'll come to fruition.
From what I've heard and from other developers on the game and cloning and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure the general idea is that we're going to try and explore some new ways of evolutions for stands. I don't really know what specifically, and I can't really say for stuff like Star Platinum the World because I don't even know if we're really planning to have those out for 4.0. But yeah, there's definitely some evolutions for stands that we're trying to rework other than them just being like, oh, you can get it from an arrow, and then that's that.
Shelf, or whichever the dev's name is, let me just politely put my foot down and say this as a running Star Platinum the World main for 3 years. Please, for the love of Pot Platinum, do not recreate Star Platinum the World from the ground up. Star Platinum the World in a Bazaar Day doesn't even need that many changes applied to it in the first place. Other than, for one, an active pose that's better than whatever this shit is. And 2, 1 or 2 new moves for the stand because it is honestly horrendously lacking in moves. Or, if you just want to be lazy, just add back its beatdown. Y'all remember when Star Platinum the World had a beatdown?
そして、やれやれ、間に合ったぜ。時は動き出す。
And thirdly, a rework to Skull Crusher, to where it works similarly like a donut where you teleport behind a person and punch them super hard and it knocks them back a couple feet. It does less damage than a donut though. Honestly, the move could use a rework because right now it's just Star Platinum appearing behind a person and punching them. The move is honestly super buggy, it doesn't work half the time, and the move right now is only usable as a secondary heavy punch. Which is why for the most part the stand in and of itself needs a heavy revamp and some reworks for the moves here and there. Other than that, Star Platinum the World is somewhat good the way it is, but it could definitely use a rework and revamp to literally everything it has in its moveset.
Sprinting most likely won't be added, seeing as the head dev Clowny is highly—
Ah yes, Clowny wants to basically remove Trowels, one of the key elements of ABD that makes up ABD, and replace it with fishing. Yet doesn't want to add sprinting as an in-game ability to where you can move faster and make traveling to places from point A to point B more sufficient because he wants to keep the good old ABD feel.
Yeah, okay.
The following section is for stands. Everything is susceptible to change, so take everything with a grain of salt. This is all the information we have on all the stands we've seen so far. Star Platinum. We know it will keep most of its moveset from 3.0, including its Charged Aura, Star Finger, Knife Throw.
I'll say this with complete honesty, I do not like Knife Throw. Not because the move sucks or anything, but because of its usefulness in general with Star Platinum's moveset. Like, Star Platinum already has a time skip. Why give it another teleport move? Like, I know it's supposed to be a reference to when Jotaro throws a knife at the card dealer's getting away in and it can stun you, but genuine question, why would I have to put in the work and effort to land this little bitty knife in order to teleport behind a person when I could just use time skip, catch the person off guard, and beat the crap out of them?
Kick, Rage Mode, and Time Stop. The newest moves for Star Platinum are a beatdown,
Okay, I gotta admit, that beatdown was cool, and it makes me want to main Star Platinum again.
and a gun move, which can be used when you're—
Clowny, AOT just called, they want their move back.
Tusk Act 4. It is showcased having a move called Nail Shot, which does exactly what it does in current ABD, and another move called Golden Rectangle Nail, which spins the target for a short amount of time when hit. It also has a grab move, which shoots nails at the target. The nail glide is shown, but only gliding. Then, a move called Spin Infused Punches. It can presumably be used when the stand is off.
Moveset looks great and stunning for Tusk Act 4, especially the nail moves. If there's one thing that I hope that every living being on Earth is that Tusk doesn't get his infinite time stop movement back in the 4.0 update. Time stop is already gutted in the 4.0 update. Don't give Tusk back his infinite time stop movement. To basically summarize all the rework stands in my opinion, the world looks playable, Hierophant Green actually may be playable, Purple Haze looks busted, Crazy Diamond Lily could be usable, and cards in the sneak peek looks to be the same without any changes. Also, RIP Mr. President, he was him and he will be missed. After reviewing the sneak peeks and potential changes with ABD, I think that the game itself is heading towards an okay future. Not a completely bad or a completely good future, just an okay future. And just to let everyone know, a beta will be coming either soon or eventually, so watch out for that. I know I will. Anyways, that's all I got. This has been Rise and Respect, and you are free to stick around.